You are literally looking straight through solid rock. In 1674, George Ravenstroth perfected clear lead glass, missing its deepest quantum secret. Look closely at this solid crystal. It is forged from melted, completely opaque quartz sand. It feels entirely solid. It shatters like a solid, yet it acts completely invisible. Why? To understand this everyday illusion, we must dive deep into the quantum mechanics of silica. Let us first examine the atomic phase shift. When ordinary sand is heated to extremes, its rigid crystalline structure violently breaks apart into a chaotic glowing soup of fast molecules. If this liquid cools slowly, it becomes opaque sand again. But if it cools rapidly, it freezes instantly, forming an amorphic solid. The molecules become permanently trapped in absolute chaos. This rapid freezing prevents a tight lattice, leaving vast microscopic voids between the molecular bonds. You might logically think simply flies through these physical gaps like a thrown ball. That is the classical assumption. It is intuitive, simple, and entirely, fundamentally wrong about reality.
The true answer requires us to look at the dual, quantum nature of light itself. Light travels as discrete packets of pure energy called photons. They are demanding little travelers. When a photon strikes an object, it interacts directly with that object's rapidly orbiting electrons.
Think of electrons as incredibly picky toll booth operators guarding the complex atomic energy highways. They will only accept an exact, specific currency of quantum energy to let anything happen. Electrons orbit atomic nucleus in strict, quantified energy levels, which we call standard electron shells. To jump up to a higher shell, an electron must absorb a precise energy amount. If a photon carries that exact energy, the electron absorbs it, completely destroying the photon. This absolute energy absorption is exactly why a wooden desk or brick wall is opaque. Their electrons easily absorb the energy of visible light, stopping those incoming photons completely dead. But silicon dioxide, the primary atomic ingredient in our clear glass, is remarkably, beautifully different. The energy gaps between the electron shells in silica are exceptionally, unusually large and wide. This is the core mechanic. The quantum gap is simply too massive for visible light. The relatively low energy photons of visible light cannot possibly bridge this massive quantum divide. When a visible photon hits a glass electron, it merely offers its small energy packet. The silica electron cannot accept partial payments. It desperately needs the exact amount to jump. So, what actually happens when the transaction is denied? The bizarre quantum ghost effect occurs. Because the incoming photon cannot be absorbed, it cannot physically interact with the electron whatsoever. The visible light photon transits straight through the entire atomic structure without stopping or slowing. It passes completely through millions of atoms, entirely ignored by the rigid, picky cilia electrons. It is as if the solid glass does not exist at all to that photon. This quantum rejection is exactly why you can see the world outside your window perfectly. The photons bounce the trees outside, carry that visual information, and phase right through. But this amazing transparency is highly conditional. Glass is not invisible to the entire spectrum. Let us look at higher frequency waves, like the invisible ultraviolet light from our sun. Ultraviolet photons carry significantly more raw energy than the simple colors we can actually see. Their intense energy packet perfectly matches the large quantum gap of the rigid silica electrons. The glass electrons eagerly absorb the ultraviolet photons, using their power to jump energy shells. This is the ultraviolet block. To an incoming ultraviolet photon, a clear window is black. This hidden quantum mechanism is exactly why you cannot get a sunburn through closed windows. Now, what about the exact opposite side of the spectrum? Low frequency, invisible infrared light. Infrared photons have far too little energy to excite individual picky electrons in the glass. But they have a totally different trick. They interact with the entire connected molecular lattice. Instead of jumping shells, infrared energy causes the whole silica molecule to physically vibrate intensely. This physical vibration absorbs the infrared wave, trapping it within the solid glass as heat. The glass rapidly heats up, acting as a massive, solid barrier to thermal infrared radiation. This is the infrared heat trap, the fundamental physical driver of the planetary greenhouse effect. Visible light passes in, heats the interior, which radiates infrared energy that absolutely cannot escape. The glass acts as a strict one-way valve, highly selective about which energies pass. It is a precise quantum filter, born of chaotic cooling and strict electron mathematics combined. So, we finally return to the grand, beautiful paradox of our strange, everyday human reality. Glass is not inherently transparent. Transparency is merely an illusion created by our own biology. Human eyes naturally evolved to detect the specific wavelengths of light emitted by our sun. We arrogantly call this narrow band visible light, simply because it is all we perceive. By pure staggering cosmic coincidence, this specific band is exactly what silica electrons completely reject. If our eyes had naturally evolved to see ultraviolet light, every window would be black. If we saw an infrared, glass would brightly glow with intense vibrating thermal heat energy. The famous invisibility of glass is merely a convenient blind spot in its quantum armor. It is a profoundly beautiful misalignment between human biological evolution and deep atomic quantum physics. Every single time you look through a window, you are witnessing a massive quantum rejection. Millions of tiny photons failing to pay the exact toll, slipping through the atomic gaps. They travel millions of empty miles from the sun, only to be ignored by sand. Next time you drink from a glass, remember the chaotic frozen liquid resting within it. You are holding a quantum filter that bends reality to its strict, unyielding mathematic rules. The entire universe operates on these hidden atomic mechanisms, completely invisible to the ungained eye. But through the lens of science, we can finally see the invisible architecture of reality. We merely have to know exactly where and precisely how to look at the world. Understanding the bizarre quantum ghost effect changes how we view every pan of glass forever. From towering skyscraper facades to the tiny corrective lenses resting quietly in your own eyeglasses. They are all actually solid, impenetrable walls that only let the specific quantum ghosts pass. It makes one wonder what other invisible, theoretical walls we are constantly walking right through. What other hidden quantum rules are quietly shaping our reality without us ever even noticing? The universe is incredibly, overwhelmingly vast, and our human perception is incredibly, frustratingly, painfully narrow. We are just barely beginning to understand the flickering cosmic shadows on the cave wall. If this glimpse into the quantum verm shifted your perspective, do not keep it hidden. Share this deep dive with a smart friend who truly appreciates the mechanics of reality. And tell me down in the comments, what everyday illusion should we thoroughly deconstruct next? Subscribe to the Vintage Library, and together we will continue to unlock the vast universe. Until next time, keep your curiosity endlessly sharp and your mind perfectly, entirely beautiful.